North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home when it's time to buy. Visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy. Here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We're seen everywhere on YouTube, and today is the Daily Draft. The Daily Draft, each and every day, Jeremy and I pit our wits against each other, and he usually wins. Just
not all the time.
That's why I said usually. Not all the time, but usually. I mean, if you ever seen us draft a fantasy football team together, you'd figure that out pretty quickly. But today we're talking about the worst owners in sports. And I'm glad that you give me first pick in today's draft because, well,
should not be that much contentiousness.
No, there is one who is chief among them, the worst owner in all of sports, and it's Daniel Snyder. The owner of the Washington Commanders, and the name that we shall not say, he's been there for a long time. And I don't think there's been a time where I've ever thought, man, this is a good team. That's a really good team that they've put together. You got a great head coach.
And everything's really put together nicely.
Oh, yeah. They got a great head coach, GM, all that kind of stuff. None of it. And then you look at scandal after scandal after scandal. He's a jerk on top of it all. Even in the years where there's not some kind of major scandal going on with this team, he's just not a personable person. And I don't feel like he's done anything to improve what was once one of the great franchises in the NFL. There was a time where the Washington organization was thought of to be elite. And they're just not. And he has single-handedly almost made them the joke that they are.
He is very bad. To me, he was 1, 2, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie Cleary in our YouTube comments asked, are you doing worst ever or just current? These are current owners. So no Donald Sterling, no Marge Schott. These are just the worst current owners.
Yes.
Since you took Dan Snyder, I'm going to take the other layup, which is the one that actually started this conversation yesterday when I lost my mind about Jim Dolan. Awful, horrible, no good, very bad, awful owner of the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
Just genuinely god-awful. I cannot say a nice thing about him. Other than, okay, you spent a lot of money to make some folksy music videos.
Mm-hmm.
You have kicked out legends of your franchise, of your building. You have ostracized more personalities than you could shake a stick at.
That was really...
and by the way, you've been terrible.
That was really what did it for you. The Charles Oakley
saga was when I went, I cannot do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I can physically not do this anymore. I cannot pour my money into somebody that I think is this big of a word I cannot say on this show.
Okay.
And there's not a word harsh enough for me to tell you how I really feel about him.
Well, I'm glad you got to get your guy.
It worked out nicely.
It did.
I think my second one, though, is going to surprise you.
Okay.
Because this is not a sport that I even really care about. But he's so bad that I have to take him here.
Okay.
It's the worst owner in all of Major League Baseball. It's Peter Angelos.
Yeah. The owner of the Baltimore Orioles has it just again, it's one of those things when you can't build a winner, you're going to be criticized heavily.
This was one of the best franchises in Major League Baseball for an extended period of time.
Mm-hmm.
He's owned this team 27 years. Do you know how many times they've even made the playoffs in the last 22?
3.
It's exactly 3. And have been a complete joke for the vast majority of it.
Oh, no doubt.
They're completely irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have taken this stalwart franchise and just run it into the ground.
Mm-hmm. But hey, Stephen Tao, at least you're not in last place, right?
Correct.
Are we going to go ahead and schedule the day I'm getting the pie in the face on that one, or
probably should?
Yeah, we probably should.
I mean, your team can't win games, so I would say you're
awful.
You're in pretty good shape.
So good, Peter Angelos. That was a pretty good one.
You didn't think I was going to do that, did you?
I did not. You threw me a little curveball because he was next on.
Now I will say this: they do have a lot of good young players.
Mm-hmm.
So the team's actually getting talented. My hope is that Peter Angelos will see this and go, ooh, good time to sell.
Right.
Because Baltimore, you deserve better than that.
Mm-hmm. I get this guy's name may not be on the tip of your tongue all the time when you think about worst owners in sports, but he is one that obviously he had his moments with one of the greatest of all time. It's Jerry Reinsdorf.
He was on my list.
I just don't see it. Like, eventually there comes a time where you have to sit back and go, am I the best thing for the future of these brands, franchises, whatever? And as the owner of the Chicago Bulls and the Chicago White Sox, when was the last time you felt really good about either of those teams?
I mean, they won a World Series. It's been a while, but
it's been, 17 years?
Something like that. It's been a long time.
I think it was 2005 that they won a World Series. And the more and more goes on with these teams, I just don't see it.
I mean, you hired 94-year-old Tony La Russa to
That's kind of
T's and P's for him, by the way. He is out indefinitely with an unspecified medical absence.
It's kind of my point. At this point, I feel like the Chicago White Sox there needs to be new ownership, new blood there. And same thing for the Chicago Bulls. Jerry Reinsdorf has overstayed his welcome. How about that? Is that good?
You did that very politically correctly.
All right, now let's go to Jimmy Haslam.
He was the next one on my list.
The Haslams have to be on the list. I mean, look, while I have defended the Deshaun Watson situation, I still
bringing
feel
him in, not what he did.
Right.
To be clear.
Yes, absolutely.
Allegedly.
The decision to sign Deshaun Watson, I understand why they did it, and I'm not upset that they did it. But it's also, you've had this awful franchise for years, never been really relevant at anything. And then after the way that you just kind of further, you kind of further put that exclamation point on your horrible ownership, the way that they've handled the Deshaun Watson thing. Remember when they were bringing him in to unveil him as a Cleveland Brown? Where were the Haslams?
Nowhere to be found.
Exactly. Nowhere to be found. Didn't want to talk to the media about it. Whoa. You just broke the minds of every owner in the NFL by giving him $230 million, and you don't even want to face the music? You don't even want to come up with some kind of a, canned statement to read in front of the media? No, you trotted out your head coach and your GM to go face the fire. Tell me you're a crappy owner without saying it yourself.
I feel like there's one more, and this guy doesn't get nearly the flack just solely because he's the owner of a pretty irrelevant franchise.
Mm-hmm.
It's Vivek Ranadive.
Vivek.
Owner of the Sacramento Kings. I'm going to say this. And a lot of people probably will not realize exactly how bad this is. 2014. Do you realize who the nucleus of that team was?
Tell me.
It was DeMarcus Cousins, Rudy Gay, Isaiah Thomas. They all three averaged over 20 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
You also had Mike Malone, who is the head coach of my 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets. Couldn't get along with him.
Mm-hmm.
Then you bring in George Karl, who is the most notoriously grumpy individual ever. There has never been a time since he bought this team that you haven't had some kind of contention between the GM, the head coach, and some set of players. Where does that come from? It's all on you.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one signing the checks. You're the ones putting these guys in these positions. And then that's not even to talk about some of the unbelievable things that have come out of that place. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been called basketball hell by people in the NBA, of players saying, I will literally not show up if you trade me there.
Mm-hmm.
I will just disappear. I'll go play in China before I go play for the Sacramento Kings. That's hard to wrap your brain around. That any team in any professional sport could be that dysfunctional. And yet, they are. To me, that is the last of the really, truly god-awful.
Okay.
And there is a drop to the next one.
All right.
Take a quick break, talk about a little crimes, and then we'll finish the draft.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, the good constructive weather underway here for early September. Nice little drop to the humidity out there tonight. Feeling good as we say goodbye to August. 57 degrees in the valley and even some low 50s with elevation, so cooler than average for a change here. Sunshine Thursday, 84 degrees and 50s and 60s again for tomorrow night. Clouds do increase into the holiday weekend with some splash and dash storms Sunday and Labor Day Monday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway, Haywood County near the Tennessee state line, 40 westbound. The right lane is closed prior to Fines Creek Road due to an accident. Sweden Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, southbound, light delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Check of the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 17 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Your burrito prayers have been answered. Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back with that juicy steak smothered in nacho cheese with a 3-cheese blend that's grilled on top. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Hours and participation vary. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
You ever feel like when you're at work, everything you say sounds like this because you're completely unstimulated and you don't care?
But then, when you're talking to your friends about things you're truly interested in and passionate about, you sound like you're alive and loving every moment of it.
Then maybe you should try podcasting with Spreaker from iHeart. It's the easiest way to podcast and get paid for it. Just head over to Spreaker.com, Spreaker, and start your voyage from ugh
to woo!
It's the Best Pro Shops night race at Bristol Motor Speedway. And it's a cutoff race in the NASCAR playoffs. You remember what happened last year, right? September 17th. Go to bristolmotorspeedway.com and get your tickets before they're gone. Be the one.
Brooks is free. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Just give him the daggone football. And it's intercepted. Holy cow, Carolina's going to win. Light that bell tower blue.
Tune in this Saturday when the Heels travel up the mountain to face Appalachian State. Pre-game coverage starts at 11 a.m. Kickoff at noon. Right here on your home for Carolina football.
Catch the Tar Heels all season long right here on ESPN Asheville.
Roots and wings. The two greatest gifts any parent can give their kid. But when it's time for them to head off to college, there's also groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions, and futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingles, we have all the comforts of home right around the corner. We know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Time for the most important message of the day here in the Sportsocracy. It's don't do crimes. Crimes never pay. And every day we seem to find the weirdest and weirdest crime stories out there. Jeremy, you're a gun guy.
I am indeed.
I don't mind guns. I'm not I'm not crazy over the top. I don't own a whole bunch of guns, but I don't mind them. But the one thing I do have to say is that if you own guns, you have to be a responsible gun owner.
Mine are all in a safe in my home.
Right. There's nothing in the world, more irritating to me than an irresponsible gun owner.
Agreed.
And so when I see stories that come to us from Cochise, Arizona, where the Cochise County Sheriff's Office was called to Cochise Elementary School for reports that there was a student with a weapon. Come to find out, they did the investigation, and yes, inside the 7-year-old boy's backpack, they found a handgun and ammunition. And then the story also says, additionally, a second handgun was discovered. Where? Where was it? If you didn't find it in his backpack, like was the kid carrying the gun on him? I don't know. But the fact that a kid, 7 years old, can take 2 guns to school, how the hell did he get those?
The CIA could not get mine without either cutting my hand off or a very large ladder.
Yeah, authorities contacted the student's parents, and a referral was completed for charges of misconduct with a weapon and a minor in possession of a firearm. We see tragedies happen all over this country time and time and time again by kids being able to get their hands on guns.
Look, I am very much of the belief that, I'm not a big gun control person, but I have always said, I think you could get every person like me, you have to pass an IQ test. Take care of a lot of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So many tragedies happen because of irresponsible gun ownership. And those need to be looked at as serious crimes.
Agreed.
And I don't feel like that they are.
My crime, not nearly as serious as yours. However, it did lead the chief of the Stark County Police Department to say, I am at a loss to explain this one.
Mm-hmm.
There has been a theft in Louisville, Ohio. I did not know there was a Louisville in Ohio.
Did not either.
But there has been a theft. A gold sedan was caught on a Ring doorbell camera. It drives into the frame. It stops. 2 women get out of the vehicle. It's a gold Chevy, by the way. They open the trunk. There's a dog in the back seat, and they steal an item and put it in the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
That would be bad enough as it is until you find out what it is. It was a fire hydrant. It had been knocked over. The city was coming later in the day to repair it, and these 2 women went, nope, stealing that. There are only 2 explanations for that. Either this is what a lot of children have done with road signs of, it's there, so I'm going to take it.
Yes.
Or they actually thought they could sell this thing for scrap metal. That's the only 2 explanations.
I would say they probably thought they could sell it.
They are looking for all tips. The other mind-boggling thing about this, what time do you think this happened? You would think this would be at dark of night. Hey, there's a fire hydrant. Maybe
at like 11:30 in the morning.
1 p.m. Just broad daylight on a busy street. You stop in the middle of the road, pick up a fire hydrant, and take off.
It was there, so I took it.
It was there, so I took it.
Like Jeremy finding money in his bank account. Just
that's
there, so I'm taking it.
My bank account. There's money in it. My money.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We continue with today's daily draft, drafting the worst owners in sports. We each have 3 so far. My list is Dan Snyder, Jerry Reinsdorf, and Jimmy Haslam. Jeremy's got Jim Dolan, Peter Angelos, and Vivek Ranadive.
And now I'm going to take a guy that it's going to sound strange, I think, when I say it.
Okay.
Because this is one of the most profitable franchises in the world.
I like where this is going.
It's Jerry Jones.
Oh.
I didn't want to take him because I felt like I've already poured on the Cowboys today. I didn't need any more gasoline on this. Maybe I'll try to be nice. But no
words I can't say on the radio. I was hoping so much that we were going to have this discussion with him on my team.
Yeah, there were 2 that I definitively wanted, and he was the one that I knew was not going to come back to me.
Yeah, he definitely was not coming back to you. Jerry Jones, definitely on my list of the worst owners in sports. Look, you can say what you want to about Jerry Jones.
He spends the money.
Oh, he spends the money. He's obviously got Jerry World down there. He understands the flash and the business of football.
It's the actual operations
Bingo.
That he doesn't really get.
No.
He doesn't understand that the owner of the most followed team in the NFL should not be doing radio hits in Dallas, saying whatever comes to his mind and making everybody's job astronomically more difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, darn it. You're going to force me into a secondary choice here.
Oh, and I have a feeling if your list looks anything like mine, you're going to be the one that perturbs people in this here area.
It very well may be, because the next one, it's Michael Jordan. I love Michael to death. Look, I was born the same year he hit the shot at Carolina. I was born and raised a Tar Heel fan, and of course, Michael Jordan, there's nobody ever to do it better. But as an owner, I still just feel like you need to step aside and let somebody else handle these decisions. You can't put together a front office. You can't get talent to come here. You can't keep talent in the building. When you do bring in talented guys, they're always past their prime, and you pay way too much money for them. Gordon Hayward, just the latest among them. It may be cool to say, hey, my basketball team's owned by Michael Jordan. That's great. But what has it really done for the Hornets as a franchise? We thought it couldn't get bad. It couldn't get worse after Bob Johnson, and I'm not saying it is worse. Let me say that first. I'm not saying this is worse than when we had Bob Johnson and the Bobcats. but we thought it was going to be so much better than this. Tell me he's not the most disappointing owner of all time.
Donald Sterling is the one that screams to me.
Yeah, but you didn't know who Donald Sterling was before he owned the team.
Good point.
I'm just saying of guys that have taken over teams, and you went, oh, man, that could be awesome. This guy has this in his favor. I mean, maybe David Tepper. Maybe David Tepper will get there.
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
I think David Tepper goes through the initial – he's doing what every new owner does. You try to go over the top, and eventually you learn, all right, this is not like every other business. I have always said that owning sports franchises is a lot like owning a bar. Everybody thinks it would be cool, when in all reality, if you do it well, nobody should really ever talk about you. You should not be a staple of the place. You should not be around all the time. You should let the people that know how to run this run this.
Mm-hmm.
And virtually every owner on our list does not do that.
Right. And I don't know if you can blame location on Michael's problems, but we all thought when you're getting the greatest of all time to come own your team, you're going to just be able to say, hey, come play for me, and everybody will want to come. And it just hasn't happened. And lastly, for my team, worst owner in sports. I mean, it's tough. There are a lot in the baseball game. We've already had Peter Angelos mentioned on this here program today.
And Jerry Reinsdorf.
Yeah, and Jerry Reinsdorf as well with the Chicago White Sox. I'm going to go with John Fisher. John Fisher is the owner of the Oakland Athletics. And for a guy that's worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $3 billion, you would think that he might spend some of that money on his baseball team.
No.
But
no.
That can't happen. We can't possibly do that. Year after year, well, not year after year, because they're, I will say every other year it feels like they are growing a young, exciting ball club that will threaten for a playoff spot or get into the playoffs surprisingly. And then what happens every time?
They ultimately wind up playing for your Boston Red Sox, your rival New York Yankees.
Bingo.
See, and I'll go ahead and tell you, I had no more baseball owners on my list because now you get into you're completely hamstrung by money.
Mm-hmm. John Fisher's not. He's not hamstrung by money. Anybody who is listed amongst the the billionaires of the world, you got the money,
and that's fine. But when you're hemorrhaging money, which that team is, just because you have liquid capital,
but why do they hemorrhage money?
They would never be popular.
You don't think
there's
so?
Nothing that is ever going to happen that's going to make that team popular.
If you had
the stadium is god awful.
I know. If you had a stadium, if you had, you never make the move. Like Oakland has been in a dogfight with their location and the city council and all the movers and shakers in the Bay Area for years about getting a new stadium. Well, move the team. Spend some of that money, move them. Stop selling off all your best assets. And then on top of doing that, you're doing things like charging $30 for people to park and driving fans away from your ballpark. There have been boycotts of the Oakland A's, for God's sakes, because John Fisher has done all of the things that he has done.
And I get it. You're more hamstrung than you think. People tend to look at, well, he's in the top 100 richest people in the country. He's also not going to set money on fire.
Sure.
And it's just not going to be profitable. This is one of the things I've always laughed about with the Tampa Bay Rays. Well, if they're not going to support the team, just move it. To where exactly? I mean, do you think – I've always heard Nashville because Nashville is a great city and they support the Tennessee Titans.
Right.
If you think that a baseball team would go there and that would be a draw,
no.
You don't know that city nearly as well as I do.
Right.
That would be it would be great for about a year. And then it would be great anytime they were competitive. The minute you weren't, Seacrest out. There's too many other things to do in that city. It's just not that easy.
There's been a lot of talk.
There are a lot of those, the Marlins, the A's, the Pittsburgh Pirates. I mean, I had all those guys written down, and then I just kind of came to what exactly are you supposed to do?
Bob Castellini with the Reds.
Eric Miller said the NHL draw is huge in Nashville. You're right, because it's indoors. Have you ever been to Nashville in July? Do you want to sit in an outdoor stadium in July? I was there not that long ago.
Right.
It was 407 degrees. I did not check a thermostat or a temperature gauge. It was an approximation. That's how it felt.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem is that, it's a great sports city. There's not a lot of places that are itching to have Major League Baseball teams. They're very expensive. Yes,
Vegas.
they bring jobs.
Vegas.
Yeah. I've always said I don't think a baseball team would sell in Vegas either.
Really? Okay.
I thought an NHL team would because it's an indoor thing. You can do it at night, then you can hit the casinos. Vegas in July.
Dome Stadium. I get
That's
it costs
much
money.
more expensive than you think.
I get it costs money, but you can't tell me there haven't been, lengthy talks about doing that.
Ask yourself this question. Anybody that's got the money to do that, do you think they're sinking their money into a Major League Baseball team?
Yeah, maybe not.
There's 3 that make high-end money. All right, you have left me 2 here, and I don't want us to take the same one, so I'm going to say that you will not take – you might take – all right, Shad Khan, owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
See,
that's not originally who I was going to take, but I think
Yeah.
there was a chance that you would undrafted free agent him.
It always comes back around to I feel like I'm doing well, and then Jeremy finds that diamond in the rough that I just went, oh, yeah, that guy.
Now, I will say, 2 or 3 years from now, he may not be on this list. I think he got humbled by Urban Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you've noticed, you have not heard him say anything in the last 6 months. I think he got humbled. Now, that may not change anything. He's still the yard barker that owns a professional wrestling organization.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't tell you that it will go the right way. But I'm less – the reason I was thinking so late is that I'm less convinced he's the Urban Meyer guy, and I'm not sure he's not about to become the Tom Coughlin guy.
Okay.
Of where he just kind of fades into the offing and lets the football people handle this.
Mm-hmm.
You get embarrassed that badly, if you're as smart as your net worth would insinuate you are, you'll pull back and just go, all right, I need to be the guy that cuts checks and cashes checks. I don't need to have any say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, undrafted free agent, there is one that I was actually going to draft right there, but I do not think there's a chance that you do.
All right.
And I am confident enough of that I will let you say yours first.
Okay. Mine is the Ford family.
That was not mine.
Chicago Bears just don't I don't get it.
Well, Chicago Bears is the McCaskey family.
The McCaskey family. The Ford family could fall into that as well, but the McCaskey family, I got them mixed up. The McCaskey family with the Chicago Bears. God-awful franchise, and nothing's been done to change it.
No, and you've got these ridiculous visions of grandeur. You've now bought a stadium location that's 30 miles outside of the city.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it won't sell. It absolutely will. It's the NFL. The NFL it's one of those things it's kind of hard to mess that up in terms of making money. Now, in terms of the on-the-field product, you're the one consistent, and it's been pretty much a dumpster fire minus about 3 years for the last 40 years.
Yep.
That says a lot. Mine is a little spicier than yours.
Okay.
Genie Bus.
I thought about doing that, but they just won a title 3 years ago.
Okay. In the bubble, when you allowed your aging superstars to rest for 2.5 months.
Mm-hmm.
Name me the thing that has happened under the direction of the Bus children that really makes you go, oh, yeah, this is a well-run franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Hiring Rob Pelinka, having Magic Johnson as the one that was making decisions before that.
Right.
Phil having whatever his relationship with his team is. It all ties back to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I said when Dr. Bus died, you mark my words, the atrophy here won't be today, won't be tomorrow. But over time, you will see it. and I think you see it now.
Yeah.
In terms of franchises in the NBA, if it wasn't the Lakers, take the names off of it. Look at the between the stadium, between the franchise structure, the roster, every bit of it. Are they even in the top half of the NBA? From top down.
No, it's very Washington Wizardy.
There you go. There you go. This was one of those jobs that all you had to do was not screw it up. And you found a way to screw it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have slightly more faith in Jeannie Buss than I have in her brother, but that's not saying much.
Right.
That's kind of like saying I trust birds more than I trust sashimi.
Mm-hmm.
One of them actively tried to kill me. So, doesn't mean a lot.
Right. All right, there you go. So our lists. Who was your final pick there?
Shad Khan.
Shad. Oh gosh, that's right.
I believe we can say that I have.
Yeah, you won.
I believe I was victorious in this one.
Yeah, I got Daniel Snyder, Jerry Reinsdorf, Jimmy Haslam, Michael Jordan, John Fisher, and the McCaskey family, not the Ford family. Jim Dolan, Peter Angelos, Vivek Ranadive, Jerry Jones, Shad Khan, and Jeannie Buss. Your list is very spicy.
A little bit.
You're in the Sportocracy here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 when we come back. Jeremy's going to be mad.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic very busy, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 on the eastbound side, very busy between exit 2 and exit 4A. 26 westbound slows west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound crawling in Haywood County between US 276 and Fines Creek Road. An accident prior to Fines Creek Road has the right lane closed. Sweden Creek Road southbound, stop and go approaching the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound, stop and go between the Biltmore Forest area and Overlook Road. Brevard Road northbound near Avery Creek approaching Long Shoals Road, delays. And again, Brevard Road northbound slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lyndon.
This report is sponsored by Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. The brand new Galaxy Z Flip 4 is here. Capture hands-free content from every angle with Flex Mode. The sleek foldable design lets you make your device conveniently compact. Visit Samsung.com to order your Galaxy Z Flip 4 today.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 23rd and 24th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Tickets are on sale right now. AXS.com.
Stream it free on the CW app and CWTV.com.
iHeart and Capital One created a free iHeartRadio Music Festival NFT dropping September 19th for 72 hours. Capital One cardholders can get a special NFT unlocking a chance for a trip to next year's festival. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One NFT for rules and details.
Wendy's Biggie Bag is still just $5. Get a double stack junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT plus 4-piece nugs, small fries, and a small drink. Grab your bag at Wendy's today. Includes choice of double stack JBC or crispy chicken BLT with 4-piece nugs, small drink, and fries. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Dirty Turkish shark back flat.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Shark back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
If you're not a huge South Carolina Gamecock fan, I won't be shocked if you don't know the name Phil Kornblut. He's a reporter, and he's around the South Carolina program, and he has a little bit of a reputation of being kind of a jerk and not great at his job and trying to ask spicy questions that lead to the spicy quote. Well, recently, back at it. Game week, first week, so much hype around the South Carolina program, the addition of Spencer Rattler, on and on and on. So what was this genius's question when it comes his time to ask one? He asked Spencer Rattler, going back to your anticipation to running out to 2001, the Space Odyssey, which is the South Carolina thing, what was it like running out to Boomer Schooner at Oklahoma?
Oh, my God.
Look, I am not a Spencer Rattler guy. Anybody that's listened to the show for any period of time, you already know that. The kid has answered these about as politely as he can, and his response was, I'm getting pretty tired of answering questions about Oklahoma. It's game week. Maybe we could stop with that.
Good for him.
It's actually a good response, and one of the things that irritates me the most about journalists is when you ask stupid questions like this and nobody looks at you and goes, really?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we even still let you in here? And that's coming from somebody that has out loud said, not a journalist. I'm not that. That's not what I do. Be better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad.
Wow. Yeah, Phil is just past his prime.
Yeah, not in every profession there's winners and losers. Give you one guess which category I put Mr. Kornblut in.
Speaking of primes, I'm in the prime of my life right now. Or at least I feel like I'm in the prime of my life because, I mean, I did just turn 40. And this is when your body's supposed to fall apart and all of that. But because I've lost 90 pounds since Thanksgiving of last year with the PhD weight loss program, I'm in the best shape of my adult life. I'm wearing clothes that are size large, which I haven't been doing since middle school. In fact, my mom found a whole bunch of my clothes in her attic that I can now wear from middle school. I wore my Larry Johnson jersey to work just the other day. It has been an amazing journey with the PhD weight loss program, and I know that their healthy program has taught me lessons that I will be able to keep this weight off for good.
It doesn't just work if you have copious amounts of weight to lose either. I did not have a tremendous amount of weight to lose. I just wanted to get back to my athletic ways. In my older age, I had become lazy with my food decisions, and it had led me to become lazy in my life. In just a few short months with PhD, I'm back to my high school weight, active again, and it's all thanks to the program and plan at PhD Weight Loss.
Dr. Ashley Lucas has got the plan for you to reverse the symptoms of things like type 2 diabetes and sleep apnea and all the things that being overweight brings you, all those risks. You can reverse those symptoms. Just go to myphdweightloss.com. PhD Weight Loss is the official weight loss program of the Clemson Tigers and their fans. Coming up tomorrow, it's going to be game day.
It's back. Tomorrow we'll be bringing back 5 on it. We will be starting for the 2022 season. If that's an element that you like, we'll have all of your gambling picks, all of your college football picks, because tomorrow it all starts for real.
That's right. We got Thursday night football in college football week 1 getting underway. We'll set the table for you for the games. Jeremy will have the picks, and it is going to be a whole lot of fun because, folks, it's there. It's back. Football is for real. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene, and we will see you back in here in the Sportsocracy tomorrow at 3.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, the good looking stretch of weather underway here for early September. A nice little drop to the humidity out there tonight. Feeling good as we say goodbye to August. 57 degrees in the valley and even some low 50s with elevation, so cooler than average for a change here. Sunshine Thursday, 84 degrees and 50s and 60s again for tomorrow night. Clouds do increase into the holiday weekend with some splash and dash storms Sunday and Labor Day Monday. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's